Yo, what up? What it do? Hey, welcome back to the house, man. Hey, thank y'all for stopping by and chopping it up with us, man. You already know what to do, man. Wipe your feet, close the door behind you. Come on in. Yeah, have a seat. That's what's up. And in case you didn't know, I am that boy Box. This is Rough House Boxing TV. And I want to thank y'all for stopping by. Hey, salute to the LDBC Lions Den Boxing community. Shout out to my big salute to the whole block fam. That'd be Marlo's Corner with the homie Trey X, El Finici, Chris Rayner, Main Boxing Biker, and the legendary Top Cats. And everybody else that rock with us over there at the block fam. You know what I'm saying? Over on Marlo's Corner, man. And hey, heads up. The fights that are going to be tonight, which is the Baba Jennings fight along with the Shakur Stevens fight. I know the homies over there at Marlo's Corner, they're gonna be calling that fight tonight. So if you want the best blow by blow, play by play, live fight commentary, you know what I'm saying, you need to pull up on the corner tonight. Those fights will be on the ESPN Plus app. But there's going to be a lot of fights this weekend, and I'm going to break down one of them here. This one is not going to be on the ESPN Plus. This one's going to be on DAZN, or DAZN, I should say. All right, so we're going to break down the Demetrius Andrade versus Artur Akavov fight. Like I said, which is going to be going down on DAZN. And we're going to get into it. Hey, got my notes. Check it out. Lots of notes. You know what I'm saying? For different fights. So let's go ahead and we'll get into this one, man. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll start with Demetrius Andrade, who comes in with a record of 26-0-0 with 16 KOs. Stands 6 feet 1 inches tall, and has a 73.5-inch reach, and he is a southpaw. All right, so let's get into the good. Boo Andrade has good footwork, good foot movement. That's on display every time he fights. He's a slick, elusive fighter. And has nice 1-2. He's got a good straight right. Surprisingly, for a southpaw, he does have a good straight right. Although he's a southpaw, he's got quick hands, and his hand speed is normally on display every fight. It gives pretty good head movement. And when I say that, I mean prior to punches coming his way, giving the opponent, different looks. You know what I'm saying, with the head movement. Gives a number of different looks for opponents, and that's head movement as well as foot movement and upper body movement. So he's never standing directly in front of the opponent, saying in one stance all the time like a number of fighters do. He's going to give you different looks, and that keeps you guessing as to actual range and distance that he is away from his opponent, and launching points and angles of the shots that he's going to throw at the opponent. So that keeps the opponent guessing these different looks. Has a sharp, stiff jab. Normally is good about lead foot dominance with orthodox fighters, but it's not going to matter because his opponent is a southpaw like he is this time. Nice slip and counter game, meaning he can evade and slip a shot, and he can come back with good counter punches. Either that straight left is a nice counter weapon of his, or the left hook is a nice that he's got a good check hook game too. He has a hard straight left to the body that he uses on opponents. Sometimes he uses it as a lead, and sometimes he'll 1-2 to the body, and that straight left to the body is something that's really effective in taking the wind and the gas out of other fighters. He's a switch hitter. He does fight from the orthodox stance, and he does it pretty well too. Some people look raggedy in it if they're a southpaw going orthodox, or if they're an orthodox fighter going southpaw. Everybody is not Terrence Crawford. And fighters of that nature when it comes to switching stances. But Boo Boo, he pulls it off pretty well. He has good pop on his shots from the orthodox stance. His jab is effective, being that's his dominant hand. That left hand jab is good, and the right coming behind it is solid and accurate. So it works for him. Normally has good balance And center of gravity. That's from an adequate stance. His legs are normally spread at an adequate distance, not too far, which would restrict movement and being able to evade shots or get proper distance and range to the opponent. If his legs are spread too far apart, it's a lot harder to close the distance in between you and opponent when you're trying to get to them, or evade and escape and get to another spot if the opponent is attacking you. So, but he normally has good center of gravity, and when he throws a punch, it doesn't leave him off balance, and out of position because he's got good center of gravity. Which nice knee bend. His legs are spread at an adequate distance. He's not shifting his weight too far forward or too far back. He's in a good stance. Nice short combos. Normally the 1-2 or the 1-4. Those are the ones that are the most accurate and effective for him. All right, we'll go to the bad now. Has periods where his head is on the center line and stationary, and I noticed that in the fights that I was the film that I was watching of his, and he can be hit when his head movement is on pause. Not the best finisher, closer. When he was fighting Katondakwa, who was the last-minute replacement for the last fight when he was scheduled to fight Billy Joe Saunders, and Billy Joe Saunders popped hot. The African fighter who stepped in at the last minute, he dropped him a number of times. I want to say he dropped him in the first, he dropped him in the third and the fourth round, and maybe in another round after that. But he was never able to finish the guy. Now, could that be a testament to the African fighter's toughness? It could be, but at the same time, I don't see that killer instinct in Boo Boo. Okay, 3 fights in the last 2 years. Long periods of inactivity are good ways to dull the tools in your toolkit. I think this is just my opinion. I believe the more consistently active you are, the sharper your tools get in your toolkit. Meaning your repertoire of punches, of tactics, of traps you can set, of movement. What you see. What your eyes able to process. The more consistently active you are, the sharper those tools get. And long periods of inactivity dulls those senses, dull those attributes, and dulls those tools in your toolkit. So yeah, he's not the most active fighter in the world as of late. Resume doesn't have a lot of big names on it. As a matter of fact, it really doesn't have any big names on it. Billy Joe Saunders would have been the biggest. Looking back at his record on BoxRec, the biggest name that I saw, actually the only name I was able to recognize on it, was Willie Nelson. And that was a fight he had with Willie Nelson back in 2016. Not a devastating puncher. He doesn't have one punch KO power. That's not his thing. When he does get his opponent out, and out of 26 fights, he has 16 KOs. But I think the majority of those are probably TKOs. He gets people out with a barrage combination of punches. Can get greedy in exchanges and get hit. That's something that kind of stood out to me in a couple of fights, and he was put down against Vadas Matarosian, and for being greedy. Instead of getting in, getting the work off, and getting out, he was having success while he was in there getting his work off, and he stayed in the kitchen too long, and it got too hot for him, and he got dropped. Doesn't sit down on shots as much as he could, which kind of goes back to the finisher and closer thing. I think if he sat down on his punches a little bit more, I think some of those fighters he would have been able to close out and finish. All right. So let's go to Artur Akavov, who comes in with a record of 19-2-0. He's got 8 KOs. Stands 5'9.5" 5'9.5". Box Rec did not list his reach, so I don't have that to give. And he is also a southpaw. All right, into the good. Let's go. He's a scrappy, gritty fighter, aggressive fighter. He has a nice 1-2 and a nice body attack. And I think his body attack is his primary weapon because of in the middleweight division, 5'9" is pretty short. So he's normally the smaller man when he's in there fighting. And he had to sharpen a tool that was going to be effective. So he likes to get in and work that body. So I think that's why his body work is as good as it is, because he has trouble fighting from the outside, meaning his arms are probably normally shorter than his opponent's arms. He gave Billy Joe Sanders all he could handle in the fight that they had. I was impressed with the job he did with Billy Joe Sanders. Although he did catch an L in that fight, he gave Billy Joe the business, man. He did pretty well in that fight. Has a nice chin. I saw him take a few flush shots. Now, granted, they weren't from vibranium fisted fighters, but he did get caught flush on a few shots with some hard shots, and he took them. He ate them, and he kept going. He's got nice feet. Moves around. The lateral movement is pretty good, and he moves around the ring pretty fluidly, and I like that. Likes to be the first with his offense. He's not the counter puncher. He doesn't sit back and wait for somebody to swing and then try to make them pay if they miss. He's going to bring his offense to you, and if he gets caught in the process, oh well, but he's going to bring it to you. And he's got a nice motor. The pace that he starts the fight at is normally the pace that he ends the fight at. So, yeah, that's what it is. All right, let's get to the bad. In this fight, he will have a significant height disadvantage. From 5'9.5" to 6'1". Yeah, he's going to be fighting uphill the whole way, which I'm pretty sure by now he's used to. So it is what it is. And I don't have his reach, but I would almost be willing to gamble that he's going to be at a nice reach disadvantage as well. But we don't know. He could be like orangutan status, super long arms. Although the film that I watched, his arms didn't look that long. So, no, I don't think so. Not a lot of pop on his shots. A lot of times you catch him with slapping punches. Well, I won't say a lot of times. I'll just say at times. But it was enough to where it stood out to me that a lot of the shots weren't flush knuckle shots. They were shots that were the palm inside and like that on the opponent. Yeah. He's a smaller middleweight. We've already discussed that. Minimal head movement. And just like Boo Boo, when his head is stationary, he does get hit. So after he gets hit, he'll move his head a little bit, 5-10 seconds, and then it's just like set again, and he's able to be hit. Lunges with a lot of his shots, and I believe that it's because of his reach disadvantage in most of his shots. He's trying to explode in quickly with his work and from range. And like I said, he lunges on a lot of his shots. So when he lunges like that, a lot of times he can get himself out of position if he misses. And he's susceptible to a counter, which could play into Boo Boo's hands in this fight. We will see. All right. So on to Key's victory. We'll start with Demetrius Andrade. First, he must counterpunch effectively because Akavov is going to bring the fight to him. He's not going to sit on the outside and try to box him. He's going to try to work his way inside and get into Boo Boo's body if he can and get his work off. So if that slip and counter game is on display like it normally is, that's going to go a long way in helping Demetrius Andrade in this fight. His hand speed must be on display. If he's able to punch with Akavov, and just get to Akavov quicker, I believe that's something that could change the tide in the fight, and it could make Akavov kind of put his hands in his pockets and second guess himself on punches if he's being beat to the punch because of Andrade's hand speed. So, and not only punching when Akavov punches, but the counter game. If he can make Akavov miss, and every time Akavov misses, he instantly gets a boop boop boop. Because of the hand speed. That's something that can turn the tide in the fight, and make Akavov second guess himself and be less willing to throw the shots that he would normally throw. He's got to find a home for that straight left. That straight left is his bread and butter, and well, I say the straight left and the left hook as well. He's got to find a home for that left, period. And that's his power hand. That's his money punch. And I think he will have ample opportunity to try to cash in against Akavov. All right, so we'll go on to Akavov keys to victory. He has to cut off the ring because Andrade is going to be on his bicycle. He's going to move. There's going to be times when he sits in the pocket with Akavov, but for the most part, Boo Boo is going to be on the move. Akavov's got to find a way to limit and cut off some of that movement. He needs to go to the body effectively. He's got to get in. He's got to be able to get past Boo Boo's jab and be able to compensate for his arms being short and being at range. So he's got to get inside on Boo Boo, and he's got to be able to work the body. That's the best way to take a person off of that bicycle, to take the gas out of the tank, and limit the movement that they normally have in the ring. So if he can work that body effectively, if he can get on him, and especially if he can get him on the ropes, I think that could go a long way in helping him out in this fight. So and yeah, the body attack, get him on the ropes. He's got to cut the ring off. He's got his head movement must improve in this fight, because if he keeps his head on the center line and just stationary in this fight, Boo Boo is gonna tee off on him. It's gonna be target practice, man. He's gotta give different looks, and Boo Boo can't always know exactly where his head is gonna be at all times. You know what I'm saying? There's gotta be some guessing, some thinking in there. Because if Boo Boo knows exactly, okay, he's not moving his head's gonna be right here when I throw this punch. He's gonna throw that punch and probably connect because of the hand speed. So his head movement has to improve in this fight. All right. Now, with all that being said, I have Demetrius Andrade winning this fight by unanimous decision. I do believe it's going to go all 12. This guy, Akavov, is a scrappy, cagey game fighter. He's tough. He's got a nice beard on him. I don't know if Demetrius Andrade is going to be able to put that dude down, because Akavov seems like he's in it for the long haul. But at the same time, I don't think Akavov has enough in the toolkit to deal with everything that Boo Boo Andrade has to put on display in the fight. I believe Boo Boo's going to be able to keep him at range. I believe that Boo Boo is going to be able to catch him when he tries to get inside and he gets in the kill zone. I believe Boo Boo's going to be able to get him there. And if he does manage to get inside, I think Boo Boo has enough inside fight game to where he could muscle and out physical Akavov and give him problems. So yeah, I got Demetrius Andrade, unanimous decision. So yeah, that's what that is, man. Once again, I gotta say salute to the whole LDBC, Lions Den Boxing community. Shout out to my whole block family. It's gonna be posted up over tonight on Marlo's Corner, man. Make sure y'all pull up, man, over on the corner and come check us out. You know what I'm saying? We do it every fight, just about. So yeah, this is video 1 in a series of probably 7 or 8 videos that are coming out between today and tomorrow. So yeah, like I said, we appreciate you stopping by the house, man, chopping it up with us again. But as always, y'all know what it is. I am that boy Box. This is Roughhouse Boxing TV. And smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't, tap that bell icon so you get alerted when new videos like this drop. Salute to the whole block fam. You know what I'm saying? Check out my boy Legendary Top Cats. He's over there putting out good content. The big homie El Finici. Hey, also, big up and salute to the Houston Hard Hitters and the usual suspects that rock out over there with the big homie Stay Ready Boxing TV, man. You know what I'm saying? The 503 line, man. Salute, man. Them boys dropping good content. If you're not subscribed to them, you're slipping on your pimping. Go ahead and run over there, man. Check out what they got and subscribe. I'm pretty sure you'll be pleasantly pleased, man. But that's what it is, man. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? Anything else? Nope. Nothing else. So y'all can go ahead and get on out the house now. Chill.